We should have worn black because this is our memorial service for pour-overs in our cafes.
We're celebrating life.
Hello and welcome to the Valor Coffee Podcast. Today's a fun episode where we made so much coffee. It's really crazy. We decided to make 3 pour-overs and 3 coffee shots. That's basically where you're trying to make a by-the-cup pour-over equivalent using your espresso machine. We'll get into it. We really wanted to test this and see if you made 3 pour-overs, exact same recipe each time, are they consistent, first of all? And if not, is it consistent when you do it with the coffee shot / middle child / no macano, whatever you want to call it? The test results are crazy, and we're going to make a change in our cafes accordingly. So stick around and hear why. The coffee that we brewed for all of this, along with as an espresso, was this coffee from Ceremony. It's in Ethiopia, washed, incredible. We review it at the end, and we just really want to say thank you to Anthony for sending this to us. Guys, we are releasing a community platform at the top of the year in Q1 at some point. This is going to have a bunch of education, a community chat feature. That's where we're going to be the most present from now on in answering questions and having really, really one-on-one contact with everyone. We really just want to see the community come together. We want to see the rising tide lift all boats. We want to have all these different channels where you guys can talk to each other and say, hey, I'm thinking about doing this with my branding. What does everyone think? What is your experience with this? We see a pretty big hole in the coffee community for this, for our coffee company owner, aspiring owner friends to just come together and see this happen. So if you want to sign up for news on that, top link in our bio, sign up there. We will send out news. We're going to send out some surveys about this to see what we can do to make it exactly what you guys want it to be. So don't forget to do that. A couple more things. We do a Q&A segment every week. So if you have any questions, send them to us either on Instagram at Valor Coffee Pod or via email to info@valor.coffee. And lastly, don't forget to like and subscribe on YouTube, follow us or subscribe on your podcast platform of choice, and rate us on your podcast platform of choice. Those ratings really help us bump up in the rankings and then help our show get exposed to more people. All right, here's the show.
Never heard that.
I honestly just had not a vision, but like a dream that we were going to turn our office into a second bathroom and with a shower. Because so many times lately I've had to use the bathroom here.
You could turn like half of it into a second bathroom shower and then tear down the wall and make my office a mega office.
Yeah.
That's like all window.
Such a good idea. Because the water's right there.
Shower. Dude.
Hey, I say we get
Biggest
let's get the whiteboard.
What even is a shower, though?
Right.
If it's not a drain on the floor.
We need to be asking the question, like, what's a shower?
There's not like a better answer. It's like a better question. You know?
Right.
So, like, you got the nozzle on the wall, right? And then it sprays water downward, and then you got the drain. How hard can that be?
I can do it right now.
It's Tuesday afternoon, and we're a little out of rhythm, but we're loving it.
Yeah.
What do you guys think about this?
Talk about out of rhythm. What the heck's going on here?
We got some coffees.
Speaking
We're going
of-
to drink all of this coffee in one sitting
It's that kind of video
at
where
3:45 p.m.
Who would get the least wigged?
you.
Probably you.
I don't know.
You're so
Dude,
tall.
you've got a good 40 pounds.
50 pounds.
Like 80, 90 pounds
80,
on me.
100 plus pounds.
80, 90
Like
pounds?
120 pounds
How much
on
do you
me.
weigh?
I'm just kidding.
Yeah, how much do you weigh?
I weigh 182.
Okay.
Jeez, you weigh yourself every day.
No, I weigh myself when I'm at the gym in the morning.
And when you're at the gym, what's your routine? Let's just go there right now. I'm kidding. Guys, we're all dressed up. We're in the same costume today.
Yeah, I wore the shirt on the program last week as well. I'm a little embarrassed.
Are you really?
No.
Okay, good. We're on like a gradient too. Check that out. Very cool.
Only YouTube watchers would know.
Ooh,
Yeah, head on over to YouTube, like and subscribe.
come on. Hey, we were sitting in Dunwoody this morning, and we had a couple people talk to us about the podcast. It was so cool. So shout out Cameron if you're out there, bro.
Cameron.
Shout out to someone who's got the guts to go say hi to somebody.
Yeah.
You know,
That's awesome.
he was like, "Hey," and I was like, "Wow,
Baller move.
baller
I can't
move."
believe you just said, hey.
And
Hey,
then
shout out to Peter. We heard he was in Dunwoody.
Peter Kluge,
baby.
Shout out. Hope you had an awesome time. Wish we could have been around.
Hope you yelled out the car window on your way out of there. Valor Dunwoody is amazing. means so much,
do now
Peter.
is send us a shirt, and he'll be like the full package of
That's right.
podcast homie.
He hasn't sent us coffee either, Peter. Come on, man.
Well, what do we have here in front of us?
Well, we're drinking one coffee many times
7 times.
from Ceremony.
Yeah.
So
Where's Ceremony from, please and thank you?
Ceremony is from
Ooh, a little good little quiz here.
Maryland.
Annapolis?
Yeah.
Oh, that's the capital.
Oh, is it?
It is the capital.
Who
A lot
knew?
of people are thinking Baltimore. A lot of chatter on
Thinking
Baltimore.
wrong.
No. Annapolis. If you know, you know.
Yes, we were sent this coffee from Ceremony, and gorgeous packaging.
Were they the ones that were like, don't go too hard on the
I
packaging?
hate to go here, but they did say that.
Your
in the
packaging's
package.
awesome.
And yeah, the packaging is pretty awesome.
Can I say what I like about it the most?
Yes.
Are we doing this right now, yo?
Well, I mean, it's just a little precursor.
Oh,
Yeah.
But
jeez.
I love when you can structure your package in a way that makes people pick it up and turn it around. Because you pick this up and you're like, CER, like what is CER? And then you pick it up and then you turn it, it's like, ceremony. Okay. And by the time you're done with it, it's like, hey, gotcha. You just looked at all
The
of our
whole bag.
packaging.
Yeah.
Now you want to buy even more of it.
I like that. But it doesn't feel like a gotcha. It feels like a value add.
I wonder if they've ever taken pictures where it's like this way, beside this way, beside this way.
Never.
What do you think?
I bet they have.
This is a washed Ethiopian.
And it tastes like it. I'll tell you that.
I haven't
Come on,
tasted
man.
it yet.
Come on.
I'm going to be perfectly candid. I'm a little under the weather. I don't know if you guys want to drink after me.
Dude, I would be honored to drink after you.
Wow.
I'll probably be fine too.
Okay.
Wow,
I think we've
go.
all just been dealing with the same thing, right?
I had a bit of a stuffy nose, and then it went away. So
Great.
probably. Ethan, are you just like us, right?
I'm just like you guys. There's no distinction or difference.
But we'll get to
Valor
this
Coffee
later.
Spreads germs.
Get to this later,
on
right?
program.
Get to this later, right?
But we have the same coffee brewed 7 ways.
7 times, 3 ways.
Right, 7 times 3 ways.
That's holy numbers right there.
And
baby.
really,
Come on.
this is just an A-B comparison with a pour over and a coffee shot. And this is really just a test that will benefit us, right? Because we, as well documented on this program, we started off in our company completely avoiding pour overs in the cafes. Mm-hmm. And then because we did coffee shots.
Thank you, Matt Perger.
Let me just go through the whole progression. Remember how when we first started coffee shots, we did not cut them with water? We just let those suckers rip for like 50 seconds.
Yes.
Yeah.
And it filled up a 12-ounce cup. So
Yes.
that's how we used to do it. And we would do a big basket. This was Cat and Cloud style. That they didn't. I don't think they did the middle child thing, right? But we'll get to that later.
That was us.
But so yeah, like a 22-gram basket, and it's a 20-gram dose. Let it rip for like 50 seconds. Fills up a 12-ounce cup. That's how we started, and then we came up with what we call the middle child.
It's like one of those things that you come up with, but you didn't come up with. Like someone would listen to this and be like, whoa, no.
Yeah,
Because like I think that's how Matt Perger pulled his coffee shot in his routine.
he cut it with bypass water.
I think he might not have. It might have just been a higher TDS,
Okay,
but I'm pretty sure his was more constricted. But like we had never watched that routine.
just
whenever
to be safe, we didn't come up with it.
Sure.
To be safe, I was taking a barista hustle course about brew ratios and extraction, and he made a comment in the lesson of like, see how far this gap between espresso and drip are? Who knows the possibilities? And I thought, let's try some possibilities, and that's how we ended up.
It was
doing
also at the same time when we were really enjoying long blacks, which
as we still do.
as we still do, a microcano. You get that 4 or 5 ounces of hot water, put that thing under the espresso machine, let that shot pour right onto there. Looks like a crazy galaxy of crema.
Dude, go
and-
there.
A crazy
And
galaxy of crema.
We were learning about that. We were drinking those, and we were also learning about TDS, which is basically strength. And we were like, okay, long black, that's a really good strength because we don't like Americanos. It's too watery. If you don't want espresso, you just cut it with half the amount of water. That's a good strength. And then we were like, what if, and then that comment that you just said, what if you just brewed the coffee that way without bypass water?
Yes, wow.
Thus, the middle child. And Ethan's a middle child, right, buddy? So that's partially why we named it that. And then there was a time where, so we had the middle child, we had the coffee shot. We did that for a while. We
rode that train.
Do you want a middle child or a coffee shot? And then I think that there was something broken with a machine or something. And that made us stop doing coffee shots.
Dude, I mean, straight up, I think that we got tired of the body of coffee shots because that heavy, thick, perceived body was just kind of hard to pick out clarity.
There was no complexity, really.
Yeah.
And that's all coming from just a metal filter.
Yeah, just metal filter. Well, when we started in the Alpharetta Cafe, we had that single group, that one group head, our far right group head on like QAnon group head, far right.
Wow.
Nice. Yeah.
Go there.
We had it at like 3 bars.
Oh, yeah. 3 bars of pressure.
And then we were like, we need to crank this up to 9 bars.
Well, we realized too, that was like a big thing for us, but then we realized the pressure doesn't get to 9 bars because there's no resistance because the coffee's ground so coarsely. Does that make sense?
Episode is brought to you by Coarsely.
That does make a lot of sense.
So
I think another good reason to avoid that, like all of your water being no bypass in this situation is because the way things currently stand with most espresso machines is you're going to have puck degradation as you go along brewing that high volume. That's why pressure profiling machines exist now, because you want to start with high pressure at the beginning and taper your pressure as you go as that puck gets weaker so you avoid a channel. Wow. So imagine running 300 mils of water through a puck as opposed to it already showing signs of bad stuff happening. Obviously, it's finer with espresso, but that's
load.
That's a more scientific.
Yeah. Ew. No.
Somewhere along the way, we were serving middle children alongside coffee shots.
Yep.
Or BTC, as we would also call it. And then somebody was like, okay, what if we just brewed a middle child and then cut it with bypass water to reach 12 ounces total?
Mm-hmm.
And then we A-B'd that with coffee shots, liked that way better.
Mm-hmm.
So the theory there is a stronger extraction cut with water. I'm sorry, I'm really struggling right now. A stronger extraction cut with water was better than, like you said, all of that hot water just like blasting through a puck for basically a minute.
Yeah.
And then we were like, okay, this still isn't that good because we're missing the paper filter.
Mm-hmm.
The paper filter has a lot to do with the body, the silky body that you get from a V60, the clarity, like when you, especially with this glass cup, you look at it and like,
look at that next to that,
right
from the top.
Right. It's a lot more clear. The espresso machine delivers a more murky product, but we're like, we want pour overs. So we did the auto pour over game. Mm-hmm. We have a Tone
Touch 4.
Tone Touch 4.
Or 3. I don't know.
And Alpharetta.
Yeah.
The single head one, whatever that is. And then the Curtis Seraphim in Dunwoody. Mm-hmm. Tried both of those out. It's really, really not working for us temperature stability wise. It's not giving us a consistent yield of water, which if it's not doing that, then like
what are we doing?
You can't do anything.
I would say the tone, okay, we had to get a second tone.
Yeah.
Because our first tone just didn't work.
Good customer service though. They totally replaced it free of charge.
So that was awesome. Props to GH for helping us out with that. But then the second one, it was like, I would say that has worked better than the Seraphims. Would you guys agree?
Yeah.
Overall. But, listeners, I plead with you. If you know someone at Curtis who can get in touch with us because we have tried to get in touch with them. And honestly, it's been a, pardon my French, shit show.
Yeah. So we were missing the paper filter. We moved to the pour overs, and then the pour overs suck, right? And so then we were introduced via, Riley's going down, to these paper filters that go in the bottom of your portafilter basket.
Yes.
So then we were like, wait, what if we could have the paper filter silkiness and the ease and efficiency of a middle child cut with bypass water? And full circle, that is where we're at today. So we're like, okay, let's get Ceremonies coffee, make 3 pour overs, test their consistency versus 3 middle children, which is a what's the brew ratio on that?
Excuse me, 1-9.
So we got 3 middle children cut with 100 grams of bypass water, which bypass water, if people don't know, is
water.
You're just adding water post brew
To get it to your preferred ratio.
You're bypassing the coffee.
Yeah.
Yeah. So really quickly, I do want to just give a shout out to Lance Hedrick in his video that put us on to this. I was just scrolling YouTube and I saw this video called, it said something about like the Noma Kano. And I was like, Noma, like the restaurant? And so I clicked on it and I watched it, and it was because Tim Wendelboe is the coffee provider at Noma, and he set them up with this recipe on, they have like a single group mod bar or something like that. And that is their coffee service. They pull these, what Lance, I think, has coined the Noma Kano. And it's just what we were doing as a middle child, but add a paper filter. Because we had tried that before. We had tried, pulling the middle child and then just pouring it through a
V60 filter?
A V60 filter.
Yeah.
But it would clog, and it would take a minute to
Which
run
is
through.
telling, right?
Yeah.
That there is a lot of coffee solids that muddy up your mouth that would get stuck in a filter.
Yeah, exactly. And so what Lance was proposing to be able to do that was you put a portafilter paper filter, which you can get on Amazon or whatever. If you have a normal size portafilter in like VST or Pullman baskets, then you need to get the 50 millimeter size, not the 55, the 50. So
Say
it'll
that
fit
again.
in the bottom flatly
50.
and not be oversized. So you want to put this at the bottom. Then because you have pressure, that filter then doesn't clog. And then you're left with something with less solubles in there. And then you can pour that through your V60 filter a second time. And it results in something so clean and awesome. And we wouldn't have known that was even a thing if Lance wouldn't have made that video. So I'll link it here if you want to watch it. But
Thank you, Lance.
thank you, Lance.
Awesome.
I'd love to meet you one day, man. I'd have the guts to go up to him in a coffee shop and say hello, too, because of what Cameron did today.
Wow.
There you go.
Luke did that to me one time before we worked here.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember when we were interviewing him, you were like, I like that about him. That
It's just
he-
bold, you know?
Yeah.
Just like his coffee. Bold.
Yeah. He's always brewing coffee at like
1 to 10.
1 to 10.
Well, without getting into the coffee review, do you guys want to just give like initial thoughts on the brew itself?
I think we brewed 3 of each for this reason. These are just inconsistent. They just all taste a little different from one another. And you brewed these, did you feel like they were brewed pretty much the same?
I did my part.
Yeah. So even with you doing a great job of controlling your variables,
Thank you.
They just don't taste like, especially I tasted this one
Yeah.
first and then that one, and I was like, this is different coffee.
This one's the best.
Yeah. But then I taste all 3 of these and I'm like, these taste exactly the same.
The best pour over is better than the best coffee shot. No Mikado. I will say that.
You think that is better than that?
Yes. But the worst
Hold, please.
pour over is worse than the worst middle child.
Interesting. I think that is better than any of this, personally.
They do. What's crazy though is they taste different.
Yeah.
I know it sounds silly, but I'm like, when you're thinking about the same coffee, just running it through a different brew method, this tastes like a donut.
What? I think it tastes floral.
I mean, maybe there's floral donuts out there, but it tastes like sugary, sweet, and like vanilla.
I get the vanilla, but I mean, orange marmalade is a pretty dope note that I kind of get from this coffee.
I do think I should have. I don't think these are the exact same brew ratios. I probably should have added a little bit more water, and that shows in the cup.
Do you think that is a good strength for service, though?
Yes, absolutely.
How many ounces was that total?
10?
10 ounces.
10.
I think the main point we want to drive across here is we should have worn black because this is our memorial service for pour-overs in our cafes.
We're celebrating life.
Yeah.
A celebration of
life. It's a celebration of life for pour-overs at our cafes. And we have really dug a hole because, I mean, we spent $4,000 on Seraphims at Dunwoody. We spent like 2 or 3 on the Tone in Alpharetta.
Be good to have that back.
It would be good to have that money back.
You know?
We do a GoFundMe. It's called the Worst Sorry.
Yeah.
GoFundMe.
But just whenever you put these next to each other, even, if you say that at its best versus that, because these two are on the table, this is all a wash, and that wins.
Yeah, I mean, because consistency is of utmost value with our product.
Yeah, and whenever you have a Seraphim on one program run giving you 300 mils, and on the next one giving you 340 mils, when your temperature is set at 205, but it's spitting out 178, and then apart from that, we sure as heck aren't going to set up a brew bar and put someone there. And I don't know if we want to get into that.
We're trying to go the opposite direction.
Yeah.
Yeah, robots, baby.
Per our, not really robots, but like
robots.
Do you think that coffee shops that pay their baristas like so much more money than we do, like have a slow bar? One might be tempted to say yes because of trend, maybe, but like, wouldn't that like completely go against the efficiency of the operation, aka doing more with less, doing more output with less people so you can pay them more?
Maybe we'd have to hear from the people on that. I don't know.
Yeah. If you have a slow bar,
tell us how much
at your
money
cafe,
you make.
Just please comment below and tell us your experience working that. I know for myself in my past, I was not brewing up fantastic coffees that were consistent from cup to cup whenever I had to turn around during a rush and make 3 Calitas. It just wasn't happening.
What about those pour steadies? Have you guys seen those?
I've seen the pour steady.
Have you? It's that kind of rectangular machine.
Oh, yep.
That has the little nozzle that like goes to each one. There's like 4 pour overs on there.
Wow.
It's like, is that good? We don't have an SP9. We can't attest to whether that's good or not. Is the Mod Bar auto pour over good? If you know these things, if you have a different experience than us, tell us. If you're like, you idiots, you've got to go into the secret hidden menu of your Curtis and change this, then tell us that too.
We're the ones with the mics. You're the ones with the keyboards.
Yeah.
Wow.
And
Oh my
you should use your voice just like we're using our voice. And we will use our keyboards in response in the comment section as well.
I think we're just so scarred after trying 2 things.
It's like, did we just try the 2 wrong things first?
Maybe.
Yeah.
But even still, even if I knew that the SP9 was going to be better, and even if I knew it was going to have the same temperature and the same output, I'm like, these had the same temperature and the same output.
Well, I think that's a great place to end up, is realizing it's a 3-sided coin flip on what you're going to get.
Yeah.
Because
even, I always talk about Jonathan Gagne.
Again.
You really do.
He talks about his experience with trying to make his pour overs dead accurate, and he is tracking like flow rate like no one's business, and he still has a 0.2% variability from one pour over to the next at as impeccable as you can be. Like he is making his like the first time the water hits the surface be at the exact same time and flow rate. Like all of these insane levels of variables. So it's like if he can't get it to 0.0, no one's going to get it to 0.0, even a robot.
Yeah. Yeah, that's something I always think about with pour overs, like how much of it is out of your hands.
Mm-hmm.
How much of the lack of consistency can you just never control? Because and that's the whole point of if a robot does this, let's say the pour steady, just hypothetically, is like the most accurate, consistent thing on the market. Are there still things like grind size allocation on the filter? You know, like if you like perfectly WDT it and like bust up all the clumps or whatever, are there still just things that are absolutely out of your control?
Yeah, I mean, like, really, I feel like if you were going to go down that rabbit hole, you'd have to go down it so hard that it's like you'd have to build it into your startup costs. Like for us, if we really wanted to go that direction, it's like we should get a grinder that doesn't have like a heavy fines distribution, or like we should get a second EK and put SSP brew burrs in it so that it shows more clarity and there's not like fines clogging the filter. Like you have to go so heavy in that direction, but again, it's like to what avail? Because I drank this and I'm like, dang.
Yeah, these are better. These are better. Well, shout out to an espresso machine. It kind of makes sense that like a boiler and everything that is like superheated and it's going through a hot portafilter, and there's like not a lot of room for things to go different places, and there's not time for coffee to like sit and get clogged. It's just like water through. So it kind of makes sense.
Yeah.
This is a really great coffee, though.
Yes, it is.
The even if the Nomacanos we're doing could be a little bit more delicate or diluted, this is a washed Ethiopian. Is it washed?
It is. Yeah.
It tastes like one, and it definitely tastes like a washed Ethiopian, even on the espresso machine.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Everything you want from that and more.
Well, what do we think? We want to dive in here?
Let's do it.
I really like this packaging. I think it looks nice.
Color pop for the label. I wonder if they have different colors. Probably.
I bet they do.
Their type is very professional, but gentle. You know,
We had ceremony at Methodical, right? Back in the day.
I believe so.
First time I saw or heard of Ceremony. Do you know who reached out from Ceremony?
I can find it.
Nice.
do you think their tagline is "Let's dial in"?
It looks that way.
Would you put your tagline on the bottom of your bag?
Probably.
Well, there you go.
I mean, we put it on the top of our box.
I'm dialing in. I'm going deep in over my head. I wanna be.
You know what's weird to me?
What's up?
Whenever people know about this podcast. Is that weird to you?
That they know it exists?
Yeah.
There's not many of them out there, so it's. But it would make sense that they would live near
here, or like been to the cafe or whatever.
But I guess you being in Mr. Wholesale, you do hear from people across the nation.
I do.
This is from Anthony. Thank you, Anthony.
Thank you, Anthony. You did say that like we know Anthony.
I don't know if I want to just blast his last name.
Hey, I'm saying.
Does he work at Ceremony? Does he own Ceremony?
He drove as a tech, but he is no longer with the company.
Oh, I remember this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thanks for listening to the program, Anthony. And
Thank
you
you,
for sending
Anthony.
us this coffee because it is a treat.
Anthony, what are your thoughts on pour overs versus the Nomacano? We want to know, bro. Are you mad that we're making this coffee on the Nomacano?
So, content of the package. What do we think?
Out of 10.
Hold on, can I read this out loud?
Sure.
The back. Coffee should be something special. Specialty coffee only exists when people believe that coffee should be something special. From the farmer to us to you. We carry this philosophy into transparent agreements with all of our partners so that together we can evolve specialty coffee into a sustainable future. Learn more at ceremonycoffee.gov. What? Government? .com.
Annapolis government.
I knew it. Dude, Joe Byron. I knew he was all over this.
That screams Joe Byron.
Yeah.
Before we hit this with a content rating, I have to tell you guys, last Wednesday, when we recorded our program, we were talking about Alita Estate, Wilford Lamassus, and then that night, Onyx released some, but it was $110 for 10 ounces. So I
Holy moly.
couldn't do it.
Yeah, it's not a good time to be working on our next year's budget. And then a $110 coffee comes up and you're like, God, I can't.
After we just bought their advent calendar too.
Yeah. I posted it on my story, and JP sent me a message and said, if Ross can spend $30 on a bag of, what was it?
Oh, the Italian.
Yeah.
I forget what it was.
I forget what it's called.
Yeah.
He's like, if Ross can spend $30 on that, then you guys can write this off. And I meant to respond, but I'll tell you now, JP, Ross definitely put that on the company card. So that was also a write-off.
Yeah, no doubt.
Because he wasn't buying that $30 bag on his own dime.
No.
What was
Absolutely
that coffee?
not.
I don't remember the pink bag.
I just want to say random Italian words, but
Let's not go down that path.
That's on our
content
Patreon.
Out of 10. 1, 2, 3, 7.
What'd you say, Ross?
You've been so shy. You're past 2.
I'd completely missed the count off, honestly.
He's like, where am I?
Yeah, it's just like there's not too much info about the coffee, you know?
That's
But
fair.
there's not a lot of info about the coffee at all.
Dare you say
And
minimal?
it's like now I just can't get over QR codes. I got to get a QR code on our boxes as soon as I can. At least they have their website on there.
Yep.
Can the QR code at least go on the bottom of our box?
Tastebycolor.com.
Who knows what that is? Maybe it has to do with the color of their label on the bag. I said an 8 just because of that first thing I said, which is like the ceremony, and you have to pick it up. That's incredible. I don't know if they meant to do that, but I bet they did.
And you're saying that connects to content?
Yeah, 'cause it's
Tastebycolor.com
content.
doesn't work. Just saying.
Yikes.
Hey,
all right.
they did say don't judge the packaging.
That's
so
right.
maybe
I won't
there's
judge.
some old bag
But that is
action.
literally why we're here, to judge this packaging. I will say that.
It's like 50% of
Like-
why we're doing this.
No, we're like, in the truest sense, judging this packaging with a score. So it's tough.
It's like we will be bypassing this section.
Oh, man.
Oh, we're not afraid to have fun, though.
This coffee was roasted a month ago, and it tastes brilliant.
I wonder if they roast on a Loring.
Who knows? We'll never know. We'll never even be able to.
What are we going to do? Go on their Instagram?
No
look
way.
at pictures?
there's
Yeah,
no way.
right.
They like post a picture of their roaster.
Roaster, no way.
How
How
never do that.
about the aesthetic?
The aesthetic.
The aesthetic. Out of 10,
1,
2,
3, 9.
7.
Whoa,
Whoa.
crazy.
Yep.
Look, I
Crazy.
went a little high on content. I would have switched them. Okay, I would have done a 7 for content and an 8 for aesthetic, but I needed to make my wrongs right here.
I think that the way we average scores roughly, it would have all ended up the same anyways.
Yeah.
If that makes you feel any better.
I do feel better.
It's cool.
Yes. It's
Good types.
It's good types. That's hard, man. It's like, do you want to have a ton of personality, or do you just want to be like clean and good? You know? Because sometimes I feel like the trendier thing right now is just like over there, like crazy, you know?
Yeah.
And that's very distinct.
But you're going to give that the highest grade we've ever had on both packaging areas, I bet.
I loved the Freed hats packaging. Okay, man. That stuff's cool, but I'm like, I wonder how. Well,
There's a tin from Proud Mary behind me. That's what he's pointing at.
yeah.
And the bag.
I wonder how long they've looked like that and how long they will look like that.
They've been doing that look for a hot minute.
Well, that's cool.
So that makes me respect it way more.
Yeah.
Good on them.
And this is timeless.
Yeah.
This is
And I like
timeless.
timeless.
Have you guys seen Cat and Cloud's new packaging?
Yes.
What do you think about it?
I think it's much better.
Much better.
than the blue bags.
Yeah.
We got to get it on Cat and Cloud.
We need Cat and
We
Cloud.
need them on too. That would be really full circle for us. I think that'd be healing. Not that we both hurt.
Healing?
Like,
That just feels like the right thing to say.
Yeah. Well, how was the UX?
oh, thanks for asking, dude. The rip bag, but resealable, big win. And the bag, yeah, it holds up, looks good.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I just give it a 4.
All right.
There you go.
Dude, the valve, what's
It's
it doing?
not at the
What's
top.
it doing over here?
Got to respect that.
What are you doing over here, bro?
That was well thought out. I'm currently in the process of pricing, not even pricing, just getting the ball rolling on custom bulk bags, and on 5-pound bags with custom bags now they put 2 valves.
Oh, thank
So it's
goodness.
just more coffee.
It's more coffee.
More coffee, more valve. That's
Although
just
I've
simple.
never seen a 5-pound bulk bag like blown up with gas.
Yeah, I think maybe there's due,
Okay.
and
And you're not at liberty to say who is they yet.
A slow
Yeah.
flow one-way valve.
it's also just like whenever you have a stock white bag, it's like there's a lot of headroom, and I feel like when you go custom, you start dealing with as little headroom as possible.
Right.
So you fill test with your least dense coffee, and then you find where that level is, and then that's how you make your bag. So you want it to be as full as possible at all times with minimal rolling.
Do you understand, Ross, or do you want us to explain it more?
Yeah, I can draw it out.
Does this mean that we're gonna have to like change all of our Uline shipping box sizes?
No.
Ross,
You know, because like they'll be like bigger bags.
They won't be bigger.
they'll be smaller.
Wait, but like, but they'll like basically be the same size.
They'll be the same size.
but there's just not rolling.
Don't worry about it. We'll talk about this later.
Ross, relax, bro. Just sip your 7 coffees and chill.
How about flavor?
Flavor.
1, 2, 3,
7.
8. I love this coffee.
Pretty like chocolatey and developed for a washed Ethiopian. Not a lot of
You always say that.
I'm getting different things than you, bro. Like when I drank this, I was
bro.
like, this is floral.
Bro.
And hey, taste is
Is subjective.
Say it with me. Okay?
taste is subjective.
This is progress. But taste really isn't that subjective. But like, sometimes it is. What are your thoughts on that? I know we're in the middle of a coffee
Jiminy
review
Cricket,
right now.
Ross. Relax.
Here's the thing. Here's my soapbox. Okay, can I do this during the middle of the coffee review segment?
You're dishonoring ceremony right now.
Whenever
And
people
Anthony.
are at the cupping table and they are like, taste is completely subjective. Like, hey, you could be tasting this and I could be tasting this, and like, hey, you're entitled to that because that is true.
But if someone just like stepped up and they're like, this is the darkest coffee I've ever tasted. And
Well,
it was like,
Sure that, but I'm like, then why the heck do we have Q graders? If taste is totally subjective, isn't the point of a Q grader to determine the value of green coffee in purchasing, to set some sort of standard that the people at the top of the industry can agree on, which would be called like truth or like a standard? And so to be able to just say like it's still okay. So like when you were getting your Q, I guarantee you, whenever somebody like when you were like cupping and you
Yeah.
the things
Yeah.
that you did there, whatever the heck you did,
yep.
they
Linnae kit, come on.
they weren't
If
saying
you know,
like,
you know.
hey guys, most important thing for us to remember today as we get our Q certification, taste is completely subjective. That doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
You're subjectively
So-
wrong.
Well, and the most important part about a Q examination is so that you are calibrated with other people. Like that's the whole point.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So why are we? I get it. Like whenever you're teaching somebody how to cup, it's daunting. It may be the first time they've ever done it.
It's a big deal.
You're just glad that they said anything.
right.
They could say orange marmalade, and it's actually supposed to taste like
Sweet potato pie.
Strawberry marmalade.
no. Try like
Tangerine marmalade.
No, I was thinking something like different, like
Sa-
outside of the
Satsuma
marmalade,
marmalade.
like outside of the marmalade world.
Pecan pie.
Sure.
Pecan.
No desserts. Stop saying desserts.
Just pecan.
Beef stew.
Beef stroganoff.
Whatever. You guys, do you guys agree with me?
Yes.
Ross, we're on your side, bro.
So
Dude,
like
we've always been on your
whenever
side.
somebody's learning how to cup and they're just totally bombing like in reality with their flavor notes because they've never done this before. What are you supposed to do? Because like
Yeah, that's whenever I failed 3 of my 21 exams on my first Q try, they weren't like, "Hey, buddy, it's okay. Taste is subjective."
Taste is subjective, but we are going to fail
Yeah.
you based off of our objective score.
No, they're
are-
like, "You tasted a defect on this cup, and there wasn't a defect."
Yeah. Okay. So was it a lot more about like defects and that sort of stuff, or was it like you're picking up the wrong notes?
Like
on
this
your
is
coffee?
a floral coffee, and you need to taste floral things.
The notes you picked didn't matter.
Okay.
bomb
so
drop.
maybe I'm wrong because that's what
Bomb
I'm
drop.
talking about.
But nonetheless, okay, so he's like, this is the most chocolatey, sweet, developed. This is the most developed coffee that I've ever had. That's what Ethan just said a few minutes
Dude,
ago.
you are hip, dude, because this is not that developed. This is the most developed coffee I've ever had.
Yeah, why'd you say that?
Watch
Yo,
the video again.
rewind the tape, player. I did not say
that
I
that.
challenge
didn't do
flag.
it. But
The progressive commercial.
So with that, he would probably rate this coffee as more sweet than I would.
I did taste donuts.
So that's the thing. If I was to just put something way different on the sweetness scale, then I would be wrong.
It's more about categories.
Yeah, because that's the thing. And it's been, honestly, I'm not Q certified anymore because I didn't re-up and it's been so long. It's like sweetness, acidity, like body, like those are the type of things you're
Mouthfeel.
looking for.
Those are the criteria.
Yeah.
You're scoring them out of 10 or whatever.
Yeah, and then you're doing like cup defects. And it's like, is there a defect at all? If there is a defect, does it affect uniformity? Does it affect sweetness? Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Well, so it kind of does support the point then, because you could say, "Hey, I tasted the coffee, and I'm going to score it a 7 on sweetness," and then they could be like, "You're wrong."
Yeah.
Like,
Well, I mean, if you scored a 6 on sweetness and everyone else scored it a 9 on sweetness, you're probably going to fail
yeah.
See,
because that's going to stray your score so far down.
That's mob mentality right there, guys. We need to be careful.
Because that's the thing. That's how you are graded at the end. It's like you're not graded on like what the teacher picked. You're graded on the average score of your entire class.
Wow, go there.
Whoa.
Yeah. In like a program.
That's kind of a weird model.
There's like an algorithm.
But what if everybody
Sucks.
Yeah, that's not true. They don't, Ross. They're good people.
No, I wasn't
And
talking
they-
about like their character and worth. I was speaking more about like the topic we were talking about. You know, like tasting coffee.
Ross attacks the Q grading.
Anyone who's ever tried to be Q certified. Anyways, I just was thinking about that. and-
How about the enjoyability of this coffee, guys?
Sorry, ceremony. What do you guys think?
That'll be a bonus episode on our Patreon channel.
We're not gonna have a Patreon channel, dude. We're gonna have a community.
Yeah, that'll be in
Making
the
our own.
community.
Yeah, we're independent.
This program is brought to you by the community. Enjoyability. Wow, what a good question.
1, 2, 3,
10.
8. Oh my goodness!
I
Ross.
really enjoyed this coffee.
You're out here.
You could
dude.
drink this coffee every day.
Yes,
and
this
be
is like
happy.
exactly what I want in a coffee. Like
It's a little too developed for Ethan.
super duper developed, really chocolatey, kind of like a donut thing going on. But like mostly just like that dark.
I don't feel seen.
If you're
I don't
listening,
feel seen.
go buy this coffee from Ceremony. It's the Ethiopia Danche,
Dancy.
I don't know if that's the right pronunciation.
and
Danche.
it is incredible. So that's why you want to buy it. First of all, second, taste it and tell me that it doesn't taste like a freaking developed donut,
Yeah,
because it doesn't.
because taste is not subjective, Ethan.
It
And
tastes floral and delicate and really
melony.
nice. Yeah.
and kind of like orange marmalade. Okay, I'll say it.
Hey, shout out, guys. It could be all of those things. Okay, there could be chocolate, there can be donut, and floral. All right,
Of course.
There's room at the table.
Of
okay.
course. But for you to sit here, just kidding. Crunch test, dude. How many are you getting?
God.
I'm getting. Oh, I usually like 3, but I'll do 4 because I'm being crazy today. I'm getting Dorito. I'm getting...
The other day during our head honcho meeting with all the leaders, Sam Smith was just sitting there with a bag of one of these Advent Onyx coffees.
Going
and
to
was
town.
just like downing those beans, man. Like they were like
They're-
chocolate covered espresso beans,
Whoa.
but minus the chocolate and minus the fact that espresso beans don't exist.
Wake up. Jeez, man. We're going to have to like suspend you for half the episode
No kidding.
next week.
Crunch out of 5. 1, 2, 3, 4. Wow.
Calibrated, baby.
Yes, we are.
Let's go.
We're
I'll
back.
total.
And we're back. Okay. See?
Feel that tension.
Ethan's like, yeah, I'm getting notes of tar, of smokiness.
Like
The
pocket
most
lint.
Developed.
Come on, guys.
I'm just tired of you doing that.
Come on, y'all.
Does it feel different to record a podcast after a long day of work versus in the morning, or does it feel the same?
It feels a little bit the same.
I'll be honest. I like it.
I like it too.
It's not bad. I feel like it's a lot easier to enter this flow than to escape this flow.
Oh,
Go there.
I'll go there after saying this. Ceremony, congrats. You're one of our highest rated coffees ever with a 40.
that's great.
Breaking
And-
40 it's tough work.
And I can see why.
That's
like,
an A.
The packaging, like we said, it's not like blow your socks off, but it's beautiful. It's really well designed. The UX was awesome. And
Crunch.
The crunch speaks for itself.
the tear on the bag and the crunch. That's funny.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a reason why that's out of 5, not out of 10.
We should add more
That's
categories.
just us. Man,
Yeah.
that's us.
If you guys are out there and you're like, they're doing this coffee review and they're totally missing this part of the review, let us know, okay?
Yeah.
What are we missing?
And most of all, in the comments, if you work in the coffee industry, would you please tell us if you do pour overs in your cafe? And if so, how do you do them? Do you do them by hand? Do you have an auto pour over situation? Do you like it?
Are you proud of every pour over that you serve?
Do you also think that making pour overs by hand while you're in a busy rush
It's cool.
is like really a good use of your time? If so, why? Because let's keep the conversation going.
Yeah, it really is just a conversation.
Remember, we use our microphone.
You use your keyboards.
And then we use our keyboards and you use your microphones.
Yeah.
I'm gonna tweet that.
On your
I'm
Twitter.
gonna X that.
Okay.
This seems like a good stopping point for us.
Yeah.
Hey, I don't know if you're going to say this at the top, but send us questions too. Okay.
Hey, the cool thing is that we can say it at the top, but also the bottom.
From top to bottom, we're asking for your input.
Yeah, we do need some Q&As.
I know. I want to do a Q&A episode real bad. I
Those
like
are
having-
always fun.
I like
and
the segment,
we always get
but-
a lot whenever I just like put out an Instagram story.
Dude, well, because people love Instagram.
But then people are like, best espresso machine for catering operation.
And, and then we're like, watch the episode.
Yeah. But that's okay. Not everyone's been there.
You know what was really funny?
Go there.
When we woke up at 4 a.m. to do an event this morning, and we got to the event
Don't talk about this.
at an office,
Stop
and
talking.
we got to the service elevator,
Stop.
and the service elevator was really tiny, and then our cart didn't fit in the elevator, and then we couldn't do the event. Wasn't that funny?
First time in 7 years.
Yeah.
There's a first time for everything.
I don't know if I told you this, but we were talking to our point of contact there, and we were like, okay, hey, we can come back next week, and we can like have a different. I don't think I said like a smaller cart, but I was like, what are we gonna do? And I was just like saying we're gonna do it, and I knew we would figure
We
it
You're
out.
going to
will.
turn it up on its side.
Yeah, and then
Something
like
like
once we had already left and everything, we were like, wait, why didn't we just take everything off the cart, including the espresso machine, and just like turn it completely on its head, hot dog style? Why didn't we do that?
Going hot dog on that thing.
Because that's what we're gonna do next week.
So you're going to do next week.
Hey, you're helping.
I'm going to the movies.
No, dude.
Can I come?
Yes.
You can
wanna
come.
see? No, I'm talking to him. I want to go to the movies.
Oh my gosh. Hey, hey, Coffee world, I need a helper.
If you want to go to the movies with me and Ethan on Tuesday, December 19th.
If you want to spend money, go with Riley and Ethan. If you want to make money, come with me.
But the more people that go with you, the less money they're going to make. What if you get like 20 people?
I will conduct a thorough interview process and choose the best one of them all.
There's not enough time.
All right, we're done here. Love you guys.
Love you.